yesterday was a rough day. It's amazing I had anything. I can do anything. Feel a lot better today. Clearing out the old frequencies, you can say. Yeah. Of course, where the reality is heading into. Jeez. Rough day at the office. Jeez. That's a good sign, though. I'm alive still, somewhat. COVID 2 point whatever, 9 or whatever it is, and the mini version, and obviously, as I said yesterday, a lot of people have not healed their inner conflict for obvious reasons. Just they're obviously playing out their dark side, even in the spiritual communities. So, I think more of a understanding of that will come clear. Those that don't have that type of conflict, we're heading into some kind of reality at some point. Doesn't mean people let go of their dark side. Of course not. They're having too much fun with it. Not everybody's like that, but a good amount portion is connected to their inner devil. So, inner chaos, inner whatever, and more power to them on that. But yeah, this is the Earth has had enough of it. Well, it has a cycle. It can only last so long. And it goes back on. Well, the individuals that incarnate here are helping it seed the new frequencies. And the Earth isn't going to do it by itself. It's still up to humanity to evolve, but enough star seeds are here to bring in the new environment. I won't call it a new Earth, but it kind of is in some ways. New Earth is just another psychopathic New Age dialogue, basically. Yeah, this place is great. It's not gonna be perfect. Yeah, it's kind of like your energy is kind of like a nail into the reality. A nail sounds weird, but maybe not like that. But you're going into the earth to hunker down a new reality that's slowly coming in. People are already seeing that. Obviously some of the spiritual community has such a huge ego. Yeah, we haven't seen that. Of course, those that are in spiritual fantasy land are living the best life they've ever had, and maybe that's the place to be. Spiritual la-la land, bringing truth to the people, getting high on the side, and your mind just floating around in SSP land or whatever the fuck you're pulling out of your ass. Or be like Crazy Lady who thinks she knows everything about aliens. Atlanta, which looks like she's 12 years old and egomaniac on the binge. Shit. This place is just great. Yeah, however you want to word it, though, it is bringing in a new environment no matter what. And not to judge society, not at all. It's too comical to watch. No. We're just watching the car crash in slow motion. Yeah, I think there's to be some kind of relief at some point, little by little. But I don't think the universe is trying to kick everybody's ass. It's just society here is so shitty. Blame the Illuminati for everything, and it's really a society just likes being a decayed pile of shit. A good portion of it does, though, not everybody. So, yeah, talking about a jail cell. This world does feel like a jail cell when you're stuck in a insane asylum for the crazies. So, possibly more Atlantean knowledge become understood for some people. Meaning, like, you'll feel like one day everybody was great, next day everybody was possessed. And 2,000 years, 5,000 years later, here we are. So, talk about a new environment. Yeah, there's another reason we're going through this is for the soul to become more complicated for reasons. And boy, it's complicated. I mean, like a monkey just, hangs around a tree, eats, and whatever. Here, we're out of our fucking minds. I mean, humans are more complicated in a lot of ways. Now with technology, we've doubled, tripled that. It's almost taking the soul and slicing up in more pieces. Add more arms to it. So, add more complications. So it's like a juggling reality, as I'm going to see. So, what does any of that mean? I don't know. We are preparing also for other environments, hopefully a lot easier than this one, because this place is, well, if they take all their talent and use it for something useful, this world can be it can be something. Instead, it's just a rat hole. A good portion of it is. Not all of it. But it's a rat-infested shithole, basically. Not all of it, but, a good portion of it is. So, in that society. So, obviously we're in places where we're safe, for the most part, to bring in whatever that's coming in. Not in a religious, belief system. But, I think people already know this. You might actually start to see it more here and there, possibly. Not for ego purposes, but for just, it's like unveiling what you're here to do at some point. Something that might come more clear. You might not believe it. Well, because society mostly sucks, so, and does everybody have to be in that cage? I mean, the soul still has a choice. They don't have to be like this. I mean, some are NPCs learning, so they're outside of all. But those that like being a demonically possessed devil, which is a good portion of society. So, as people, they talk about, I don't really call it advanced spirituality, but more just why you're here becomes more clear here and there. Advanced spirituality, I think that's more just more spiritual ego garbage, basically. And we have enough of that here. Oh yeah, your superpowers and all that. Ego. Yeah, spiritual ego crap, basically. Well, because if you really want to be advanced, you look at the environment, it's like, it's better to not have super eye beams and all that shit. People here are fucked up. It'll be worse than it is now. People want their superpowers and didn't do anything to earn them, and this is a complete fucking joke. I mean, even like hell is to laugh at. It's like, it's so, I mean, this is hell, a version of it, but it's so backward, it's just, you can't take it seriously. But it's hard to get to that point. I mean, you do get to that point, but it also drive you insane and all that, and so on, and whatever. Everybody's in the same environment, but I believe some people here have experienced that. Some have not cleared out their inner darkness. Of course, we're dealing with everyone else's inner darkness too, and trying to survive it. So, of course, they go to spirituality and think they're outside. Some think they're better than others. And so life says, like, well, we're gonna come and kick your ass because apparently your head's up your ass. So, maybe just a bit of a kick here and there for those that think they know everything and whatever. So, Anyway, but you see with some of these spiritual groups, some of the larger ones, how clueless they really are, how arrogant they are, and just what a cesspool that is. Just keeping the kids entertained, right? So, yeah, it just shows how empty it really is out there. But advanced spirituality, I guess, is more just, I think it's more keeping your sanity somehow and getting through this as society goes ass backwards and continues to be. And it's up to the individual to snap out of it, those that are at that level, and just leave all their BS behind and just not judge. Because a lot of people in the spiritual community, as some of you noticed, are very judgmental, arrogant, elitists, and so on. In case you haven't noticed. Yeah, it's gross. The attack of the pretty people. They have nothing to say. Yeah. To get around them, it's like, yuck. The Brat Pack on crack. And they probably are on crack, too, or something like that. The jet setters, I guess, of nothingness. Yeah, so I want to be jealous. People that go to these conferences and all that. It's just kind of, that's probably the most ass backwards people out there. Some of them, at least. Yeah, it's just another shithole, basically. Yeah, like the demon hunters. Anybody give themselves that title, first off. A lot of them are just going after people they don't like. Or they just have an ego issue. Yeah, or they got dad problems or whatever the fuck it is. So, putting it out there. Yeah, I would just be careful of those people. Heads are so far up with their asses. Well, what does that mean? Some people are like, wow, they're so cool. And other people are like, yeah, you're full of shit. So, I think there might be some truth to it, but when you're going after anybody that you feel like they think is a demon, it's like, okay, whatever, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So, yeah. I don't know what's this going on. Yeah, we've seen like little resets here and there. We're not supposed to know anything. We're supposed to just get through it. We're supposed to live in the moment and not worry. We're so, people are obsessed with the future. Obviously, sometimes we get messages about the future here and there, but I think there's just things we're not supposed to know right now. It's what you can create and bring out of yourself and what you can do for your own environment. That matters most. Yeah, because a lot of the people in the SSP have an ego issue. Either they want to become known or famous, whatever. They haven't quite conquered the ego just yet. Yeah. I mean, if you're battling somebody here and you're going to spirituality, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's hopefully comes a time where you find some kind of inner peace. If we're still holding on to that, they're not done fighting themselves or whatever the fuck it is. So, whatever, right? Now they're keeping themselves entertained. Some of them have self-loathing they got to go through. So anyway, all right. Yeah, this place is very tiring. I'm trying to go. Looking at to the Palladians, I guess. The other ones that are usually around. Yeah, I'll just do that real quick. So, all right, 10 plus 6 for go. Agrees you. By the Palladians. Patience plays a big role. You need to know yourself still. As some feel like they are more advanced than others, and you still have lots to learn. And yes, you're in not here on a mistake. You're, in the jungle for a reason. Something here you're looking for to better yourself. And yes, sometimes just seeing how ugly humanity has come in this environment and help you become more humble, more sympathetic, and just cutting through a lot of your own belief systems to better understand this environment. It is a choice, but yeah, as you can see, yes, you see the soul here on a higher level, everything's peaceful. They come here, yes, there's a devil. So, a lot of it's, yes, self-conflicted pain and not quite cleared. And some are not ready to let it go. They don't want to heal. They want to just continue in that victimhood or whatever it might be. So, and they might be there for a very long time beyond this incarnation. Yeah, if they're going to live this whole life in this dark meadow throughout this whole life and leave here that way, I guarantee you they're going to come back into it somewhere. They're not done with it. So the more steer clear, the better. Yeah, because they can also con you in the astral realms. Oh, I'm going to be fine in this next life. And it's like, no, you're not going to be fine. Unless they prove it. I know it's not helping much in this life, but just realize if they're terrible in this incarnation, most likely they'll be terrible in the next one. Unless they change here. Or show some kind of redemption. No, they're going to continue that cycle for some time. Because this is the time of breaking it. Not to be perfect, but just some are just on a self-loathing path. They can go on forever like that. So just be aware of that. Kind of like, it's good to have that in your memory because like, wow, this person's horrible. After this life, everything will be fine with them. It may be in some regard, but if you incarnate with them again somewhere, I guarantee you they'll be horrible again. Yeah, so the soul still has to learn, right? It's like, so if you put your boundaries up now, it's like, I don't care if you have incarnations before, they gotta really prove it. But it doesn't mean you have to incarnate with them again. If they're terrible here, like I said, it's most likely gonna go somewhere else, even with parents, family members, and so on. Just something to think about. Like I said, there is energies in astral, everything's fine, everyone's normal, but like I said, incarnate again. Look, I'm back to my old ways again. So yeah, do you want to go through that again? Well, it's up to you. In this current environment here, yes, you are living inside the book, and yes, you can't skip to the next page. You have to go through it page by page. And some may find so frustrating. You might get a feeling of where things are going. It has to do with your current environment. But to, skip over is not likely. Some of you try it, didn't get anywhere. And so on. So, but you're letting this play out. Well, the more you're here, the more you are gathering information, as much as people don't believe it. It might not be the best information. It might be throwaway information, but still information. So,